She said, "It's a girls-only vacation, don't be a clingy boyfriend." Then her Instagram filled with photos of her with other men. I honored her request not to be a boyfriend by stopping entirely. Her "Why is your status single?" texts started once she realized I agreed.
Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Got another wild story today. Make sure to stick around till the end, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.
There's a big difference between a partnership and a stepping stone. A real partner helps you build a foundation. A stepping stone is just something someone puts their foot on to get to the other side. For the last 5 years, I thought my girlfriend Ashley, 28F, and I were building a foundation. Turns out I was just the rock she was standing on, trying to get a better view of the other side of the river. I'm 30M, a pretty simple guy. I own a small custom carpentry business. I work with my hands, I build things that last, and I'm proud of it. I make a decent living, enough to buy a small house and live comfortably. Ashley works as a receptionist at a high-end real estate firm. It's a job that puts her right at the edge of a world of serious wealth. And for the last few years, she's been staring over that edge like it was the promised land. Her best friend, a girl named Emily, comes from old money. The kind of money that's quiet and a little terrifying. Ashley got absorbed into Emily's friend group, and it changed her. Suddenly, our life wasn't good enough. It was all about keeping up. The brunches that cost more than my weekly grocery bill, the weekend trips, the clothes. I tried to be supportive, but I could see it wearing on her. She was a Honda Civic, trying to keep up in a race full of Lamborghinis, and the engine was starting to smoke. Last year, she begged me to buy a specific brand of luxury watch before we went to one of Emily's parties. "Everyone will be wearing one, Mike," she'd said. "I don't want to be the only one whose boyfriend looks like he doesn't belong." The watch cost $4,000. I told her no. I told her I belong wherever I am because I'm comfortable in my own skin, and if her friends judge me for not having a fancy watch, then they're not people I care to impress. She didn't speak to me for a week. So when she told me she was invited on a girls-only vacation to go yachting in the Greek Isles for 2 weeks, I knew what was coming. The trip was being paid for by Emily's father. It was a golden ticket for Ashley to live the life she dreamed of. "It's just us girls, Mike," she said, her voice a little too bright. "I just want to relax and not worry about anything. So please, don't be a clingy boyfriend. Let me have this." The way she said, "clingy boyfriend," felt like an insult, like my very presence in her life was a weight. I knew what she meant. She didn't want her normal, tool belt-wearing boyfriend cramping her style while she was trying to blend in with trust fund kids. "Okay, Ash," I said. "Go have fun. Don't worry about me." She left 2 weeks ago, and for the first week it was just radio silence. Then the pictures started. Her Instagram, which I'd muted but not unfollowed, started to look like a brochure for a life I couldn't afford. But it wasn't just pictures of the ocean and fancy dinners. It was pictures of him. A guy named Hunter. He had that easy, arrogant smile of someone who's never had to work a day in his life. The pictures were smart. They were subtle. It wasn't a sloppy nightclub kiss. It was a series of carefully crafted, soft launch photos. A group shot where his arm was draped possessively around her. A picture of her wearing a pair of sunglasses that were obviously his. A candid photo of the two of them laughing alone on the deck of the yacht at sunset, posted by Emily with the caption, "Don't they look perfect?" It was a strategic campaign. She wasn't just on vacation. She was auditioning for a new life. The final picture was posted yesterday. It was just her, holding a glass of champagne with the caption, "Decided to extend my trip a little longer to explore some new, exciting opportunities." That was it for me. It was like looking at blueprints for a project and finally seeing the fatal design flaw you'd been missing. This wasn't a crack in the foundation. The whole structure was rotten. She wanted to be part of that world, and that world didn't include me. So I decided to help her with the demolition. She didn't want me to be her boyfriend. Fine. Request honored. I spent an hour last night going through my social media. I untagged myself from 5 years of memories. Then I changed my relationship status to single. I didn't do it out of anger. I did it out of a weary sense of realism. You can't be in a partnership with someone who is actively applying for a new position. Update: The first text arrived this morning, about 24 hours after I changed my status. It wasn't from Ashley. It was from Emily, her wealthy best friend. A single imperious line. "You need to fix your Facebook. You're embarrassing, Ashley." I have never disliked a person more than I dislike Emily. I replied, "No, I think it's correct. Have a good day." And then I blocked her. An hour later, Ashley's texts began. It was a storm of panicked, angry messages. "Mike, what is going on? Why does your profile say you're single? Emily told me what you said to her. Are you insane? All of our friends are asking me what's happening. You're making me look like a fool in front of these people." This is exactly what I mean when I say you're clingy and insecure. You can't handle me having a good time without you. The lack of self-awareness was breathtaking. I let her spiral for a bit before I called her. She answered immediately. "What is your problem?" she yelled. My voice was quiet. I was in my workshop, the smell of sawdust in the air. It felt a million miles away from her yacht. "No problem, Ashley. I saw your post, the one about extending your trip for new opportunities. It seemed pretty clear. I just updated my status to match yours." "That was about my career," she sputtered, a lie so flimsy it was insulting. "And Hunter is just a friend, a new friend. You don't even know him." "I know what I see," I said. "I see a woman who is building a new life that doesn't have a place for me in it. And that's okay. I'm not even mad, Ash. I'm just done. You wanted to be free to run in that circle, and now you are. I'm not going to be the clingy, working-class boyfriend holding you back anymore. I'm making it official. You can't break up with me over a text message or a status change," she cried, her voice cracking with rage, not sadness. Her main concern wasn't losing me. It was the optics of it all. "I'm not," I said. "You broke up with me when you decided our life wasn't good enough and started auditioning for a new one. I just did the paperwork." I told her that when she decided to come home from her extended trip, she should make arrangements to get her things. I told her I wished her luck with her new opportunities. Then I hung up. It didn't feel like a victory. It just felt like closing a drawer. A part of my life was over, and I was the one who had to clean it out. Update 2. Ashley came back from Greece last week, not with a tan and a new billionaire boyfriend, but with a chip on her shoulder and 2 empty suitcases. She texted me, demanding a time to come get her things. She showed up yesterday afternoon. I had spent the week packing. It was a strange experience, sorting through 5 years of a shared life. I packed her clothes, her makeup, her massive collection of shoes that she could never really afford. I found receipts for things I'd bought her, gifts for birthdays and anniversaries. There was no anger, just a quiet sense of finality. I was packing up a version of myself that no longer existed. The guy who thought this was a partnership. When she walked in, she looked around the half-empty apartment and scoffed. "God, you really did it?" "I told you I would," I said, pointing to a neat stack of boxes. "That's all your stuff?" She ignored the boxes and launched into the speech she'd probably been rehearsing for the entire flight home. It was about how I was insecure, how I'd thrown away the best thing that ever happened to me, how I didn't know how to support an ambitious woman. I let her finish. When she was done, I just said, "A friend of yours sent me a text yesterday, Ash, one you sent to Emily. The one where you told her you were trying to figure out how to leave me without looking like the bad guy." The color drained from her face. I guess one of the less loyal members of the brunch brigade had a conscience after all. "Yeah," I continued. "She also told me that your plan was to make me so miserable with your complaints that I would be the one to end it. So you were right. You succeeded. Congratulations." She switched tactics. "You know, I put a lot of work into this place," she said, her voice turning cold and businesslike. "My design sense made this place what it is. I think I'm entitled to some compensation for that, and for my emotional labor." I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. "Your emotional labor? You mean the stress you put me under trying to keep up with your rich friends? And the stuff you decorated with? You mean the furniture you picked out online and had delivered here, which I paid for with my money from my job? No, Ashley, you are not entitled to anything." She knew she had lost. She called her dad to come help her with the boxes. While we waited, she tried one last time. "He was just a summer fling, you know," she said quietly. "Hunter. It wasn't serious." I know, I said. That's what makes it even sadder. You threw us away for something that wasn't even real. You traded a solid foundation for a fantasy. Her dad arrived. He wouldn't look at me. They loaded her boxes into his car in silence. And then she was gone. Final update. It's been about 4 months. Life is quiet now, but it's a good quiet. My workshop is busy. I've taken on some new challenging projects that I'm really proud of. I got a call about a month ago from one of Ashley's old friends. Not one of the rich ones, but a girl who had been pushed out of the group for not being able to keep up. She apologized for not speaking up sooner, and then, out of a sense of solidarity, she told me what had happened. Ashley's grand plan had backfired in the most spectacular way. The rich guy, Hunter, had zero interest in a serious relationship with the receptionist his friend's dad had brought along. He was a serial dater of heiresses. The extended trip Ashley had announced was a fantasy. Hunter had left for another country the day after the yacht docked, and he never called her again. She tried to cling to Emily's group, but her position had always been conditional on her having a stable, presentable life. A single girl, suddenly broke and couch surfing while complaining about her blue-collar ex, was not part of their brand aesthetic. They slowly and politely froze her out. According to this friend, Ashley is now living in a tiny studio apartment she can barely afford, working at a different company in a similar role, and is apparently miserable. She got exactly what she wanted. She was untethered from her boring working-class boyfriend. She was free to chase the life she thought she deserved. It just turns out that life didn't want her back. As for me, I'm good. Really good. I'm actually seeing someone new. Her name is Clara. She's a veterinarian, and last weekend she came over and helped me install a new set of cabinets in my kitchen. She said she loved the smell of sawdust. She thinks what I do with my hands is amazing. Ashley saw me as a stepping stone. Clara sees me as a partner. It's funny how that works. Ashley wanted to be on a yacht in the Mediterranean, surrounded by people who saw her as disposable. I'm happy right here, in my workshop, covered in sawdust, with someone who values things that are real and built to last. I guess we both got what we wanted.